car is a 1967 911S. At one time I actually owned 5 of these, believe it or not. Back then, the S was just really another cool old car. It was nothing really special to some people, but to others, it was an iconic car because it was the first year that Porsche had taken the 2-liter motor that had been in the cars from 64 up to 67 with 130 horsepower, and the S was the sport model. It sported 160 horsepower, so an additional 20% more, and it was more of a sporting performance model. So it was Porsche's first step at taking the 911 in a slightly more sporty option for the street use. You know, a lot of these early sort of short wheelbase cars had this reputation for being slightly twitchy, but I think that's back in the day. They were running on 4.5-inch skinny wheels with high profile tires and soft suspension. Once that's all dialed out, the car really comes alive, and it's a little bit of a giant killer. You know, it's running an aggressive tire compound. It's got upgraded brakes, race-inspired pads, vented discs all around. So it actually runs, drives, stops, shifts, and handles really, really well. It actually maybe could do with a little bit more horsepower in the motor just to give it a little bit more zing. We actually went through and upgraded all the suspension, 22 and 28mm torsion bars front and rear, and ran all fully adjustable spring plates and front strut bars and adjustable sway bars and stuff like that. So it was more of a performance-orientated build. It's currently running our own set of 52 Outlaw wheels, which are sort of a deep 6 and 7R fitment. And it's just more of an aggressive, streetable track setup. And the gear ratios are shorter. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are almost like airport gears, and then with a tall 5th. So, great handy car. And, you know, our drive today up in Angeles Crest Highway just really, you know, shows the highlights of the car's nimbleness, and the close ratio gearbox is perfectly suited for those twisty canyon roads. This was a numbers matching car. It still is a numbers matching car. When I bought it though, it actually had been flared out sometime in the late 70s, early 80s, and it was running turbo flares. So it was kind of a bit of an oddball looking car because it looked a little bit like an ST, but it was short wheelbase. And for me, it didn't really matter. I always liked building these sport purpose cars. I'm not such a purist that I was going to put the car back to its bone stock original format. So the destiny of the car was already set before I got it. It would sort of remain a sport purpose, track orientated car. To me, I love the way the car looks. It's that classic late 60s Monte Carlo rally, race-inspired sport purpose look. And so I just ran with that theme with the race-inspired decals and put the meatball number on the car because it is the 67. I wanted to add a little bit of my personality like I always do, so I swapped out the seats, put in some shield bucket seats, and then reskinned them in tartan-clad centers. You know, I painted the front hood red. I did add some drilled door handles, but ultimately I tried to show some restraint by not going full-blown build of R-inspired integrated turn signals and louvered deck lid. I thought the car was really cool enough in its somewhat stock appearance-looking format for a vintage race car of that era. We ended up the run today up at Mount Wilson Observatory. Just an iconic setting. It's a landmark location and it has a spectacular view of the LA County Basin below. And the road is mostly 2nd, 3rd gear, climbing, super twisty, super gritty, and essentially a real fun road, maybe my perfect road. To me, the great thing about living in Southern California, and especially Los Angeles, is the accessibility to all these world-class driving roads that we can be on within 20 minutes of where we're currently sat. We can climb up to over 7,000 feet, we can experience different terrains, and ultimately it's, as I always say, the joy of getting behind one of your favorite cars on one of your favorite roads.